Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time I have full review of these new Sony headphones called ULT 900 from the new Ultrawear series. Let's get started. Let me first tell you about the price. In Mexico, its launch was announced at 3,999 pesos. That is approximately $240, although remember that the prices here are not the same as over there. Remember that in Mexico, the prices already include taxes as an additional comment. So they are headphones that are located in a mid-range price to speak of Sony's segment, low-middle in fact we could say. But the interesting thing is that they begin to incorporate several features that we normally see only in the high-end series of Sony, such as the touch surface on the side and excellent noise cancellation. So they could turn out to be an interesting alternative, but let me tell you little by little about the experience I've had with them. However, before I continue, I must tell you that currently the WH-MIL XM4 are very close in price, at least on Amazon. They are really very attractive. So it is very difficult for me to review these headphones having this alternative available. Although obviously there are few pieces left of the WH-MIL XM4 which would be the most recommendable at a price very close to these. So in the description I leave you the link to buy both these headphones and the WH-MIL XM4 that I insist would be more recommendable at this price. But when that stock runs out, these headphones will make much more sense in this price range. So join me in getting to know them. These headphones come with an included case that I honestly find to be of very good quality. It is a hard case that is going to protect your headphones very well when transporting them. However, I would like it to have a strap to be able to hang or carry them more easily, since in this case they only come with the traditional closure and that's all. So it can become a bit more complicated if you want to try to hang them up. The holster doesn't have too much complexity. It's a well-made case with an indicator so you can easily see how to store your headphones, and also with a compartment to store two cables. The first one will be the charging cable from USB-A to USB-C, and the second one will be a cable in case you want to enjoy audio via cable, or also in case you have run out of Bluetooth battery, because they also have passive operation. So with the cable you can keep listening to music even if the headphones have run out of battery, which is a good thing. The headphones have a simple design with respect to materials. As soon as you hold them, it feels like they are not Sony's high-end headphones. In fact, the buttons also have a bit of a simpler click. They feel cheaper in that sense, but fortunately they keep the foldable design, which is going to help you carry them in a more compact way, and obviously they are also fully adjustable. So in this sense, they do deliver in a good way. In addition, they are considerably lightweight headphones. They have a weight of 255 grams, so they might be comfortable on the head. Speaking of which, they do feature a cushion on the top, although not as premium or as spongy as you would find in the high end. But note that the fit is also quite comfortable because they can get to rotate nicely to fit your ear. Speaking of which, they also feature a cushion made according to Sony with thermofoam. This type of technology Sony ensures that avoids wrinkles and thus ensures a better isolation at the time of placing them. On the left ear cup, we will find most of the buttons. For example, we will find the ULT button that will serve to activate a thunderous bass, which I will talk about later, but it has 3 levels of adjustment depending on how intense you like to hear the bass frequencies. In this part is also placed a button to access the noise control, also the power button, along with an LED indicator of the current status of these headphones, plus the USB-C port for charging, and finally the jack of 3.5 millimeters. So it has pretty much everything we could ask of it in this regard. And the right earphone will have the touch surface that is going to serve us also to control our playback and other things that I will tell you about in a moment. But first, let me tell you that they also include a sensor on the inside that detects when you take off or put on the headphones. However, in this case, it will only stop playback when you remove the headphones, but does not resume playback when you put them back on, a behavior that is strange, although it could change with an update. They are available in black and white colors, and remember that in this case we do not find any level of resistance to splashes or something similar, unlike the headphones in the true wireless format. Now let's talk about the controls, and in this sense you immediately notice Sony's experience making headphones in this format. Remember that Sony has possibly the most famous headphones in this format with noise cancellation in its high end, but has moved several of those features to this more economical model, and that makes them become very attractive. In fact, another premium feature transferred to these headphones is the adaptive sound control. That is, in conjunction with your cell phone, it will detect if you are sitting waiting or if you are walking or if you are on public transport and can automatically adjust the cancellation. Obviously, when you are walking, you should be more alert and it will enable the ambient mode, and when it detects that you are sitting on the transport, it can automatically enable the noise cancellation. So it is an attractive feature that you can have on or off, so it can control it automatically or you can manually control the noise. Even though, as I say, they don't feel premium in the hand, the controls are definitely premium. So if you put the headphones on, you'll notice that on the right side we find a touchpad, so you have everything you could ask for. With 2 taps, you can start the playback or stop it, and unlike other headphones where you need to do 3 taps, 4 taps or something similar, in this case everything is much easier and intuitive, because with this touch panel, by sliding your finger from top to bottom or from bottom to top, you can modify the volume in a very simple way, and by sliding in a horizontal line, let's say forward, you would go to the next song, and backward you would go to the previous song. As you can see, these are really very easy controls, very intuitive, so in this sense the experience is completely premium. In fact, if you do a long tap, you can also call the voice assistant on your phone, or you can even directly have both Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa integrated into the headphones. So you can also have the voice assistant at a touch's reach, so you can ask them for a specific song or just to ask them for information or to do some activity or logging throughout your system. So the control section I really loved, and even on the noise control button you can add more things. By default, obviously with a tap it's going to switch between noise cancellation or an ambient mode. In fact, through the app you can also add that you want an option to turn off noise cancellation and ambient mode and have it run in a passive state. This is going to help you consume less power, of course, but through the app you can also tell it that you want to enable a feature called Quick Connect through this noise control button. So with 2 taps you could directly launch Spotify Tap or Endel. In this case, the second service I honestly don't know, but Spotify Tap allows you to directly access whatever you were playing on Spotify in your headphones. Regardless if you were listening to something else on your phone, then it allows you to quickly resume the music you were listening to. That's also one of the benefits that I've only seen available from Sony. Seeing these types of features that I've only seen on flagship headphones is really nice, because they give you another level of experience that you don't usually find on headphones at this price point. Also, another feature that I loved seeing in mid-range headphones is the quick attention feature. Let me put these headphones on to explain further. When you have noise cancellation and someone comes to talk to you, you are usually going to do this so you can hear what the other person is saying. But in this case, you simply need to place your hand on this surface and immediately the music will go down in volume and the ambient mode will be enabled, so you can hear what they're saying to you, and as soon as you let go, the music resumes, the noise cancellation is re-enabled, and you're completely isolated again. So again, it's a feature carried over from the high-end Sony, and it's very nice to see it available here. And still, to enhance the experience, if you press the power button once when the headphones are already on, it's going to tell you through voice the battery status of these headphones. By default, it says it in English, but through its application, you can download all the sounds in Spanish or in your language, and definitely, again, it is part of the premium experience that Sony is transferring to these headphones. Since you don't need to guess what a certain sound means, as we find in other headphones that only through different tones try to communicate what mode you are activating and similar things. But in this case, you can perfectly hear in your language what is the status of the headphones, and that is definitely very good. Now let me tell you all about the sound quality that these headphones are going to offer. And in this sense, unlike the other little things I was telling you about, which transfer features from Sony's premium headphones to this mid-range, I think they do sound like mid-range headphones. Even getting picky, I'd say they sound a bit more budget headphones. I think their emphasis is not on sound quality but on bass power. They really are headphones that have exaggeratedly high bass. In fact, for my taste, in the default setting, they are very high bass that overshadow other frequencies, so at first impression, I did not like the sound of these headphones. But fortunately, you have an equalizer through the application. So in my case, I started to play with that equalizer that has 5 bands available for mid and high frequencies, although it does not have so many bands available to customize the bass. So it only includes one control for bass, and you can change the style in which the bass frequencies are customized. I personally liked clear bass better, and in this case I only went up one level on clear bass, and at that setting I think I achieved a much more pleasing reproduction. At least from my taste, because you know this can also depend on many tastes. If you are one of those who like booming bass, you can definitely also enjoy the sound with the ULT 1 or ULT 2 setting, which still takes the bass to a higher level. So I think these are very bass-focused headphones. If you are a bass player, for example, I think you can distinguish the bass in the songs much more easily, but I insist that I personally had to go into the equalizer and customize my experience very specifically to notice something more pleasant to my taste. It has several presets. You can create your own presets. In fact, through the application, there is an option where you can find your own equalizer. So it gives you different presets or different styles with different numbers, and you choose which one you like the most. After a few steps, it finally gives you the final equalizer. So it can be useful. So at the software level, again, you see all the Sony expertise because they offer this equalizer in their premium headphones as well. So it's really nice that it's available at this price point. But speaking specifically about the sharpness or the resolution of the audio, I think that they do fall short a little bit. Especially, I think the diaphragms are not bad. They are 40 millimeters, so they give you very good space to generate that powerful bass, but they are more focused on generating powerful bass. I don't consider them to be so focused on giving you a super clear sound. That's why I say they don't have as much definition as I expected, especially once I saw that they were compatible with the LDC codec. If your cell phone has LDC, you will get even more audio definition. But I have tried other headphones with LDC, and I think they do fall a little short in this sense of audio resolution, although they also have Sony's DSE technology, which stands for Digital Sound Enhancement Engine. So, this technology tries to improve any kind of loss that has been generated in the wireless sound transmission so that your sound is of better quality. And again, it's a technology that you see in more expensive Sony headphones. But I think we do see a limitation here at the hardware level. So, despite having excellent software with different enhancements, good codecs and more, I think the speaker itself of the headphone is not that high quality. That's why I consider the audio quality to be a bit lacking. Fortunately, the noise cancellation is good. In this case, it uses the same noise cancellation chip that is used in the WH-Mill XM4. So, you'd imagine that the noise cancellation is definitely very high, and possibly that's also one of its most attractive points. And as a further addition to the whole Sony experience, it has support for USB-A audio. Remember that Sony suggests streaming applications compatible with this type of audio that will give you a much more immersive experience in sound. And it also has head tracking, although I personally have had some difficulty in being able to set it up well because it doesn't detect very well when I turn my head up or down in the setup process. So I think that still needs to be polished up nicely. Possibly it's still going to get some updates to finish refining the product. But anyway, I personally don't use that kind of features, so I don't think it's that relevant. But I would say that they are present because at this price, there are not many headphones that can offer this kind of additional features. Now we are going to test the microphones, so below you will hear an audio recorded with the microphones of these headphones.
Esta es una prueba de audio utilizando los micrófonos integrados de estos audífonos Sony ULT 900.
As you can see, the microphones are also perceived of a simple quality, although it is enough for you to answer your calls. But in this case, it is noticeable that they are not ultra-premium headphones. Now let's talk a little bit about the battery life of these headphones, because they definitely deliver what you would expect, especially considering they are large headphones. So they are going to give you 30 hours of battery life on average with noise cancellation on. Although you know that these figures are just for reference because it can vary a lot, even depending on how loud you turn the volume up. So the higher the volume, the shorter the battery life. But generally, these kinds of tests are done on 50% battery. That's a considerably good figure. Even for long trips, you're going to get by on just a single charge. In fact, if you don't use noise cancellation or ambient mode, it can go up to 50 hours of playback. And remember that even if they run out of power, you can use the headphone jack to continue listening to music via cable. They take about 3.5 hours to charge, although they do feature fast charging. So, with just 3 minutes of plugging them into charge, they can give you 90 minutes of playback. So, it is also well compensated in that sense. If you run out of energy quickly with a moment of charging, they can recover a lot of battery. And finally, let's talk about the connection. Fortunately, in this case, it integrates very important technologies so that it connects fast to your Android or Windows computer. So it has Google Fast Pair. Just when you turn them on, it's going to pop up on your Android phone, the dialog box if you want to add these headphones, and it's that simple. And the same thing will happen with your Windows laptop. You'll get a small notification telling you if you want to connect to these headphones, making it very easy to connect for the first time. Although it may take a little longer for this process to happen when you relink them, but it is quite simple. You simply have to press and hold the power button until you hear a tone telling you that they are pairing. So it's very handy in that sense. They integrate Bluetooth 5.2. Maybe they don't have the latest, so it's not going to have as much range or as much stability if your device is a little bit far away, but I think at this price point we can accept it well. In fact, it does support having two devices connected at the same time in case you want to have them connected to your laptop and your cell phone. So if you're working and listening to music on your laptop and you get a call, it's going to immediately make the switch. And finally, let's run the latency test. Although these are not specialized gaming headphones or anything like that, but let's see how they do. And that's it. For the moment, this has been all regarding these headphones, which as a conclusion I could tell you that it will be an even more interesting alternative when you get to find it on some discount. For the moment, I find the cost a bit high due to the audio quality they offer, but it seems to me a very attractive cost due to the controls and different premium features that Sony has placed on them. So it is an interesting alternative. That's why I'm telling you that when they come down in price a little bit more, they're going to become a very good recommendation. So for now, we've come to the end of this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, you know you can tell me about it, and we'll see you next time.